Of all the erroneous things that Jordan Peterson has said about myths and legends, this one,
Isis is queen of the underworld,
gets my goat the most. Hear that? That's the sound of millions of ancient Egyptians turning in their graves. I think many would be most upset to hear their beloved Isis being referred to as the Queen of the Underworld. She was better known as the Lady of Heaven, or Queen of the Gods. She was also referred to as the Mistress of the House of Life, or Mother of Gods, or Great of Magic. While there might be some very loose accuracy in calling her Queen of the Underworld, because Osiris was the king of the underworld, her position was not by his side. In a shocking display of twisting the narrative to suit his own values, Peterson says that Osiris ruled the upper world and Isis was the queen of the underworld.
Order collapses, up comes the queen of the underworld. She's looking for order. Chaos cries out for order. She's looking for order. She goes all around Egypt trying to put Osiris back together. It's a state of chaos. She finds this phallus. She makes herself pregnant with it. And
what Peterson does in this video is totally skew ancient Egyptian mythology to suit his own misogynistic framework of hierarchy and order and chaos. So basically, the original myth is Osiris and Isis ruled Egypt together, and then their brother Seth became jealous and murdered Osiris. He then chopped Osiris up into lots of pieces and scattered his pieces around the land of Egypt. This much Peterson gets right. However, blaming the state of chaos on Isis is totally unjustified. It's clearly Seth who is the cause of the chaos. Peterson's next big blunder is when he says that Isis found Osiris's phallus and impregnated herself. What actually happened was Isis gathered all the pieces that she could find, but she could not find his phallus. In some versions of the story, it says that it fell into the Nile and was eaten by a fish. Subsequently, Isis used her magic and temporarily resuscitated Osiris so then she could fall pregnant. The fact that Isis falls pregnant to an incomplete Osiris is highly significant in a number of ways, which hints upon a very nuanced and complex theology that is underlying the story. Another few quick bits of symbolism to take note of is that Osiris is often depicted as green because he's associated with agriculture. Isis, on the other hand, is often depicted with wings, which indicates that she is of a higher realm. There's a lot to unpack there, which I won't go into in this video. The main point is that she was not the queen of the underworld, and Osiris did not rule the upper world once he had died. Isis was revered because she was perceived as being the protector of the pharaoh's throne. And then towards the end, when Peterson starts saying that Egyptians didn't know why they wrote these stories and they just made them up, is an expression of arrogance which really blows me away. To understand the Egyptian myth, like all myths of ancient civilizations, it's essential to understand the theology that is behind them. So if you want to understand more about the errors of psychoanalysis, check out my latest video where I debunk Freud, Aristotle, and virgin births. As a person who is concerned about cults and coercive control, it's not just the mistelling of Egyptian myths that I want to draw attention to here. There is a deeper issue. That is Peterson's use of Jungian psychoanalytic theory to support his beliefs. Not only has he weaponized notions of the unconscious mind and so-called universal archetypes to suit his own agenda, he seems to have misrepresented Jung's work as well. I highly doubt Jung would ever have associated Isis with laughing hyenas.
Yeah, but she's like the queen of the underworld, right? She's the queen of the hyenas that live out among the dead. But
Jung viewed Isis as a divine mother figure. From a Jungian perspective, the story, particularly Isis's quest to reassemble Osiris, illustrates the human journey towards individualization, integrating different parts of the self to achieve psychological wholeness, with Horus's victory over Seth representing conscious self-integration and overcoming internal conflicts. Well, I know it won't be a shock to many people that Peterson is wrong about Jungian theories. What this example demonstrates is how easy it is for people to propagate misinformation, especially when it is presented as being grounded in psychology. In my experience, I've noticed there are particular issues with high-demand groups using psychoanalytic language to manipulate people. Examples include Anne Hamilton Byrne, Keith Raniere, the Incel movement, and nearly every New Age movement that has been established in the past 90 years. It is though quoting Jungian archetypes gives these people the legitimacy to just make stuff up. I mean, seriously, Isis? A laughing hyena? If you're interested in understanding how psychological theories are misused in cults and coercive groups, and what healthy psychology looks like, be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos on these topics. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.